Talkingreef video podcast. We're going to do a quick video for you about using a Salifert test kit. There's a lot of questions that come up frequently exactly on how to use them and what to look for and how to tell where to make your reading, because these are test kits that rely on a specific change in color. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to set up and go through and record exactly the process that's used to use the Salifert test kit. I'll show you the differences in color. We'll move the camera around, get it on a flat background, flat white background so you can see that. And we'll go through it real quick. It should only take a couple minutes. Okay, so to get started, here's the test kit we're going to be using. This is a Salifert Calcium test kit. It comes with a few different components. We have 3 different chemicals that we're going to add in there. We've got number 1, number 2, number 3. The test kit also comes with your test tube, or your mixer, a little measuring spoon, and so then it's going to come with 2 different syringes. So the first thing that we're going to do, there's 2 different ways to do the test. There's a full and like a half test. Now if you look at these tests, right on here it'll say 50 to 100 tests, and it depends on how you do it. The normal directions will call out specifically to do the full test, and then if you cut everything in half, it's a half test, and we'll get into that in a minute. So what I normally do is the half test. So what we're going to use on here is we're going to take water from the tank up to the 1 milliliter line. The full test would go all the way up to the 2. We're going to take that water, put it in here. We've got the water in there. Then we're going to add reagent number 1, and for the full test we'd use a full spoonful, but for this half test we're going to use half. It's a little hard to figure out exactly what half is, but you get used to it. So then we'll just add the half right into there. Now at this point you do not stir it up. What we have to do is add number 2 before we stir it up. Now for a full test it's 8 drops. For a half test, it's only 4 drops. So we'll add 4 drops. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have our 4 drops in there. Now we can stir it up. We'll stir it up for about 30 seconds or so. Okay. Now for this next part, we're going to take number 3, and we are going to use the large syringe, and we are going to draw the fluid out all the way to the top to the 1 milliliter line. That's the same for the full test and the half test. Now once it's drawn out, you can see, I don't know if it's going to show on the video, but there's an air pocket between the actual plunger and where the water is. That's totally normal. That's accounted for in the test. Now at this point I'm going to flip the camera around so we've got a more solid background, and I'll show you the last part of the test. We have our starter in the test tube. As you can see, it's a nice pink color. We're going to take the syringe dropper and we're going to add 1 drop at a time, until mixing between each drop until it changes colors. At this point we can see it's starting to change a little bit colors. We're not there yet, but we're going to go from a pink to a purple. Oh, there it is, right there. You can see the difference in the color. It was a pretty drastic change. And the next part is actually how we read the test. Now to do this, you take the results of it. You don't have to count the drops. Notice we just added the drops in 1 drop at a time. But what we're going to do now is look at there, see where the plunger is against the line. So we're at about 6.1 milliliters on there, about 6 to 6.1 milliliters. Okay. Put the rest back into the original container, and then what we'll have is the instructions that come with it. Now what we do here is we follow the line down here for how many drop, for what the water level or the chemical level that we had left. We'll go down to 0.6 on here, 0.6, goes across to 200. So that's going to be 200 parts per million. But because we did the half test, we have to double that number. So that would give you 400 parts per million, which is what we're looking for your calcium level. Again, if you were doing just the full test, you wouldn't double the number. But if I was doing the full test, then I would have about 0.2 left in there to get the correct value. So that is how the test kits work. Hopefully that helps out a lot of people in using these test kits and understanding how they work, and hopefully the color change came out in there good enough for people to see. Again, the main point with these test kits, they do in the instructions call out that you're looking for a pink to a purple. Now, it's not so much a certain type of color that you're looking for. The big key is to look for a change between two drops. So as we were dropping them in there, we noticed that there was slight minor changes as we were adding the drops in. But on that last one, we added the drops, swirled it up, and you notice a big dark change. Now, if you find yourself going all the way to the end of the test tube and it's not changing, or it changes right away, then your calcium levels are way off, way high or way low, and then we should look at starting to adjust for that. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Like I said, I just want to make something real quick, and that's going to be it. Hope that helps everyone. Shortly we'll probably be doing some more of these little quick videos and get them out there for you. Thanks a lot.